All right, then, guys, to kick us off today, we're going to open up first with a chest stretch. Again, this can be with any piece of equipment that you have at home. I have a band with me. You can use a broom, a towel, a blanket, whatever you have that you can just pull taut on both ends. Then once you get that, I just want you guys to open up, stretch those arms back here. Should be feeling this in our chest here right now, guys. We're going to hold this for just a little bit of time here, guys. I'm not going to time you here. So based on your piece of equipment, because everyone's going to be a little bit differently, if you ever need a break, feel free to bring those arms forward, let yourself relax a little bit, and then re-engage. You do not have to hold this the whole time. Take the break when you feel you need to take the break based on your intensity of both your effort as well as the piece of equipment that you are using. That's our first stretch. We got that going right now, guys. We're going to hold that, play around with it for about a minute, and then we're going to drop the piece of equipment. We're going to get into the rest of our stretch break. So yeah, go ahead, open up that chest. Four, three, two, one. That piece of equipment can go off to the side, guys. Here, we're still standing up. What I'm gonna have us do next here is just fold our body forward. You can touch the toe or touch the ground, our toes if we want to, or we can cross our arms. We can let the spine extend a little bit here if we feel comfortable. We're just gonna hang out in this position, stretching our hamstrings, our low back here. Again, kind of on our own time here. I will say that if you do want to get up from this position, I would have you put your hands on your shins and then slowly track those hands up towards your knee, extending the spine first, and then extend at the hip, just like a hip hinge movement we'll do in our classes, Dylan and I. If you ever feel you need to get up from that stretch, and then of course you can refold back on down. Right there, guys, I'm going to have you put your hands on the shins, extend the spine as we track our hands up to about our knees, maybe a little bit above, and extend there. From there, guys, want a similar motion here, expanding our legs a little bit, and we're going to stretch down here. Focusing a little bit more on those adductors as well. We can let those legs spread as much as we want. Again, in these stretch classes, we really like to focus on all those muscles that can get tight while we're sitting all day. So that goes with our chest, as well as anything that connects to our hips. From there, guys, I'm going to have you stretch over to one side here. And stretch it over to the other side. From there, guys, I'm going to have you stand up from here. Just lean over on one leg there. Focus a little bit more on one side particular, those adductors right here. And switch it over. Same thing, other side. From there, guys, I'll have you put one foot out in front. We're in this lunge position. This is going to be our hip flexor stretch here. We're going to hold this one a little bit longer, slowing things down. I want us to drive that pelvis forward. Pelvis should stay neutral. Don't want to let it tip too far forward, too far back. And with that, our torso is going to stay up right here. We're driving that pelvis forward. We're going to hold this for a little bit of time. So play around with the intensity. If you want to up it a notch, a few things that you can do. You can twist into this upper leg. You can tilt over to the side. If neither one of those are really getting that much of a stretch for you, and I would try it for a little bit before you try this next one, you can slowly tilt ourselves back. We want to be careful because that will rotate our pelvis away from us, and that's pulling. If this is our pelvis right here, guys, we have a muscle that crosses that, and if we tilt back, we do have a tendon muscle area right there that will go against that pelvis bone. So I want to be careful if we ever decide to tilt back. I would really avoid that one unless it's an absolute last result. But even then, it might not be necessary to stretch. You might just be really flexible in this position. And of course, start off here just doing normal straight up, turn, then try leaning. And even before you try tilting it back, maybe just try Spider-Man stretch here, driving that pelvis in the ground just to check there. From there, guys, I want you to switch over to the same thing, the other leg. From there, guys, I'm going to have you switch back to that first leg here. See if you can't get a little bit deeper into that stretch on the second round. Switch over one more time to that second leg. And of course, guys, as we're holding these longer stretches, make sure we're focusing on our breathing here. Nice, slow breathing. It should be more relaxing than it is stressing the body. Again, we're trying to tell our nervous system to allow these muscles to stretch. We're not just trying to pull them apart like a rubber band, because if we do that, they're just going to snap back together. We want to tell the body small little stretches at a time, letting the body relax to each one of those. We must oxygenate the blood, so we need to breathe. We need to focus on letting the blood go to that area and telling the nervous system that's okay for us to stretch at that point. And then right there, guys, I'm going to have you take it down to the floor here, spread our legs, and stretch right down to the middle. Slowly allow yourself to rise up there, guys. We're going to take it down to the floor here. We're going to focus on a specific muscle within our glutes called the piriformis, as well as the rest of our glutes here. But it's one muscle that can get kind of tight when we're sitting there all day. So what we're going to do is we're going to raise our leg up, one ankle over the opposite knee, pulling in below that bottom knee. We should feel that stretch on the outside of our hip bone, where our leg meets our pelvis. There's a small bone that attaches right there. We're trying to target that muscle right here, guys. And right there, go ahead, rest that down. Same thing, opposite leg. Right there, guys. Go ahead, sit yourselves up. We want to be comfortable in this next position. Right here, we're going to do a really important stretch for our body. It's a four-way neck stretch. Great way to get blood flow back up to the brain here. We want to be gentle when we're stretching this, though. Our neck, those muscles might not be the strongest. While they do have to support a heavy load, our head, that load is pretty heavy in and of itself, so we don't have to strain our neck too much by adding an additional hand movements. We're going to start off nice straight posture, shoulders relaxed. We're going to let our chin dip down to our chest. We're going to stretch the back of our neck. These muscles are important to stretch too if we spend a lot of time at the computer, because we might have a little tension right there just from standing in that position with our shoulders maybe hunched up a little bit, our neck in various positions if our computer monitor isn't lined up correctly with our eyes. This could be a nice stretch to relieve some of those issues, as well as just to regain focus throughout the day. From there, guys, I'm going to have you raise your head up, tilt your head back, chin goes up towards the ceiling. Gentle here. We have smaller muscles that can get really tight from looking at a computer all day. And up front of our neck, we're going to stretch those ones right here now, guys. And right there, go ahead, recenter that down. One ear to the same side shoulder, stretching the side of our neck. Raise it up. Same thing, other side.